Hey everybody, welcome to this month's question of the month. I'm David Keil. I answer questions every month. As you know, if you've got one, you go to yoganatomy.com/my question. This month's question comes from Susan. I'm wondering how specific body proportions, relative arm, torso, and leg length, affect the ability to do a press handstand. I have relatively long arms and legs, long femurs, and a very short torso. My lower ribs touch the top of my pelvis when I flex at the waist, so my lumbar flexion is mechanically limited. I'm only 5'2" tall, 5 feet 2 inches tall, but have the same inseam as my 5'10" husband. That's impressive. Anyway. It seems that long legs relative to the rest of the body are a major detriment that cannot be overcome with flexibility alone. The quick answer is proportions do matter in postures, both in terms of how they look, as well as in terms as how they might function. So it could be the issue here. I'm going to say there's a couple things here. One is, your ribs touching your pelvis when you flex the waist, or saying lumbar flexion is mechanically limited, which I believe. I'd be surprised if that's the issue. Let's assume that I'm going to follow you along, and let's say proportions are the issue. If proportions are the issue, what's the issue? When you have really long legs, okay, let's think of the legs like a lever arm, which they are. When you're trying to go upside down, you're trying to move that long lever arm from your pelvis tilting and from the hip joint moving. So you're at the very end of the lever arm trying to move it. That's like me taking a very long stick at the very end and hold it in my hand and lift it up, okay, as opposed to sliding up halfway through it. So that is a potential problem for long lever arms and for proportions. People with long legs have a tendency to struggle to do things with straight legs. It's not 100% of the time, but you can see it. It's a little harder to control maybe if it's not to get it up. But I'm going to guess here, there's two other important parts here for press handstand. One is, just remember, if you're going to get your feet off the floor, it means 100% of your body weight is going to be in your hands. So let's assume, Susan, that you are putting 100% of your body weight into your hands before you try to lift your feet up. Or if you put 100% of your body weight into your hands, your feet will not be touching the floor anymore. That's another way to say it. That then gets mixed in with movement. And where are you moving from would be the other question. I wish I could see, and I feel like I need to add the ability for people to send a video or images for some of these questions. I guess I could email you and ask you for one too. So movement is the next part, which is also very important. And so for a press handstand or press to handstand, you have to rotate your pelvis, okay? Now, if you can't do it with your legs straight, now this could be because your hamstrings are tight, which could account for what you refer to as lumbar flexion is mechanically limited, meaning your forward bend. Again, I don't know because I can't see it exactly, but one or the other. What you might do is bend your knees and see if you can lift up and if you're tilting your pelvis enough to do that. And that way you get the feeling, you make sure the muscles that you are going to use when your legs are straight are used. And you build up pieces of a pattern. If you ask me, I'm always a pattern guy. Where does the pattern start? Where are you missing out on it? That's the question. You need to find pieces of the pattern that allow you to do it. Whether you can do it with straight legs from the beginning is a separate issue and question. Most people are not going to do it with straight legs first anyway. Grab onto a piece of the pattern that you can do, start with that, build it up, and then start straightening your legs. That's my recommendation. Could it be proportions? It could be proportions. Should you be locked into thinking that's the real issue? I'm going to go with technique is more likely culprit, and proportions don't help or make it harder. All right? Great. Anybody else, you got a question? Go to yoganatomy.com/my question.